Good morning. How are you doing today?
Good morning. Thank you for asking.
My name is Danier. Your name is
I'm Jennifer.
Jennifer. Thank you for coming in today, and thank you for answering our ad about the management position. I'm glad you were able to make it in this morning.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate the time that you've taken to have me come in.
Okay. Well, we don't have very much time this morning, so I sit down last night and I wrote down a few questions that I wanted to ask you. So if you don't mind me, I'm going to go ahead and just get down to the point, if
Okay.
that's okay with you. What was your previous job?
My previous job was staff development coordinator in a nursing facility. I managed about 20 employees over 3 different shifts and was in that position for about 5 years.
That's a pretty good amount of time. That's quite a bit of experience in management. Um, during your time as a manager, because you were pretty much acting as a manager, how well was the communication between you, your employees, and the organization?
I would say that our communication was very well. Communication was extremely important dealing in the facility with the nursing. Not only did we have to take care of our employees, but we also had patients that we had to take care of. So if the upper management had something that they need relayed to the employees, the CNAs, say, for example, then it was my job to make sure that they received the information correctly, they were able to institute it and carry it on.
That's good. So communication flow between you and employees and management was very good.
Yes.
That's good. That's what we're looking for in our organization. I'm glad to hear that. Can you tell me a little bit about what attitude are you bringing into the organization?
When you're looking at a management position, you have to have a very open attitude. You have to be willing to communicate and listen to the ideas of your upper management, as well as the people that are below you that you have to supervise and manage. If you're not willing to listen to them and their ideas, then you may miss out on something that's extremely important that could help the company.
And that's very good, and that's where the decision-making process comes into play. And I think I had a question about that later on. As a management or as a manager, you have a great amount of experience. So I think you'd be very beneficial and you'd be very productive for organization. That's very good. That made me feel good. How much experience do you have with the decision-making process?
I would say that with the decision-making process, I would like to say that I have a lot of experience in that. Being a nurse and starting out down at the bottom level and having to work my way up in the tiers of nursing, decision-making is a very prominent attribute that you have to have as a nurse in the healthcare profession. You have to be quick on your toes. You can't delay. You have to be constantly thinking and
You got to be quick with those courses of action that you need
Yes.
to apply.
yes.
And like you said earlier, it's good to take in consideration management and supervisors and employees' suggestions and idea when it comes time to make a decision like that. It's good to hear that. If you had conflict within the workplace as a manager, which way do you think would be the best way to solve conflict?
Being prior military, I strongly believe in the chain of command. If I have 2 staff members that have a conflict between them, I would like to bring them in and discuss that with them together, face to face, both of them, as well as discuss the situation with them one-on-one, giving them each a chance without the other person there, just to get the feel of the side. I would like to see them try to come to a resolution for the problem together themselves. If not, I'm more than willing to help. As I said, I strongly believe in the chain of command. If we cannot come together as with a resolution, then I would take it to my superior and involve my superior if we cannot
Okay.
resolve the conflict.
Okay. Would you say negotiation would be a good tool to use while resolving conflict?
I do believe that negotiation could be good. Again, too, though, it can also be taken advantage of. So every scenario with your employees is different. So you need to take into account what the conflict is, what the scenario was, the problem. If one, nursing, for example, where I have a day shift CNA, two CNAs on a day shift that are in a conflict, one resolution would be okay to put one on the afternoon shift or one on the night shift, if they're both willing to do that, so they don't have to work together.
Okay. So you're saying negotiation and having an end result where you have a win-win situation would be the best way to resolve conflict.
Absolutely.
That's very good. That's very good. That's what I wanted to hear. In what's your experience with job design?
With job design, you have to be willing to multitask. You also have to be willing to delegate. You don't want to give somebody the same task repeatedly. If you're not willing to do that task yourself, then what makes you think that somebody else is going to want to do that over and over again? You look at your employees and you look at their strong points. You may have you may be better at communication on the telephone. This person over here may be able to work better with the doctor one-on-one. So I want to assess the strong points. And when I'm putting together the job design, I want to put the correct person in the correct position to get the job done.
So they can manage that area a lot easier.
Yes.
That's very good. And you were saying that you don't want to put the same person in an area where they're doing the same job constantly, right? Which I agree with you on that one. That's a very good idea because they start losing motivation.
Yes.
As a manager, your job is to keep your individuals motivated. What do you think is one of the best ways to motivate employees within the company?
I strongly believe in praise and incentives. If you have an employee who is constantly giving you their 110%, but they don't get that great job, or hey,
That feedback.
the feedback that they need positive feedback. If they've worked 7 days in a row, offer them a day off, give them a day off with pay, as a incentive reward,
A reward program. Establish a reward
Yes.
program within the company so employees feel like they're being appreciated for
Yes.
going above and beyond their duties. That's
Absolutely.
very good. That's very good. Well, Jennifer, thank you very much for your time. I think you did very good. Let me talk over with my managers. I'll get all the information that I got from you, and I'll discuss this with my managers, and I'll be giving you a phone call. Okay?
Great. I
Have a
look forward
great
to
day.
hear from you. Thank you.
Thank you.